Welcome to the Candyverse. Today we're talking about a skill almost no one trains on purpose, but one that quickly separates the artist who improves from the one who keeps going in circles, learning how to give yourself feedback. In other words, stop depending on someone else to tell you what's wrong and start reading your own drawings. Like you're your own sensei. Most people try to do this, but they do it badly. They finish a drawing, look at it for 5 seconds and say, I suck. That's not feedback. That's self-bullying. Good self-feedback isn't, this drawing is bad. It's, the expression works, but the right arm looks stiff. The color palette is nice, but the background competes with the character. It's moving from a global judgment to a specific observation. Every finished drawing is like a snapshot of your current level. It's not there to prove you're perfect. It's there so you can study yourself. The goal is to look at it like it was made by someone you want to help, not destroy. To do that, you need 2 things. Distance, the right questions. Distance means don't review your drawing the second you finish it, while your emotions are still hot. When you complete a piece, you're either deeply in love with it or completely sick of it. In both cases, your perception is distorted. Ideally, you finish the piece. You let it rest for a few hours, or even until the next day. Then you do your self-feedback. That alone lowers the drama. Now come the right questions. Instead of, is it good or bad? Ask yourself things like, what is working here? What feels off or awkward? If I could change only one thing, what would it be? Does this communicate what I intended? And very important, always start with what works. Not because we're being fake positive, but because your brain needs to know what to repeat and reinforce, not just what to avoid. If you only look at mistakes, your mind learns. Everything I do is wrong, and you freeze. If you also notice what went right, your mind learns. Oh, I can reuse this. Self-feedback is like tuning a radio. You don't switch stations every time. You just adjust the dial a little with each drawing, getting closer and closer to the signal you actually want. Now let's put self-feedback, how to do it step by step without destroying your self-esteem. Here's a mini routine you can use. Every time you finish a drawing, or at least once a week, someone else mode, open your drawing and pretend it's not yours. Imagine a friend sent it to you, asking for advice, and you genuinely want to help them, not humiliate them. That alone changes your internal tone. 3 simple columns. On a note, digital or paper, create 3 sections. What I like. What looks off. What I'll do differently next time. Example. What I like. The color palette. The character's expression. The energy of the pose. What looks off. Right leg feels too short. Hands look a bit stiff. Background feels too empty. What I'll do differently. Check leg proportions with references. Do 5 hand studies before starting. Add 1 simple background element, furniture, window, etc. Just like that, you've turned I don't like it into an action map. Use a quick checklist. Have a small checklist you can scan through. Is the silhouette readable? Does the pose feel balanced? Is the focal point clear? Does the color guide the eye? Is anything distracting unintentionally? You don't need perfect answers. Just notice. Use visual tricks. Sometimes your eye gets too used to the image. Try things like flipping the canvas horizontally, zooming way out to see it tiny, viewing it in black and white to check values, placing it next to a drawing you made 6 months ago. It's wild how many mistakes and improvements suddenly become obvious. Turn feedback into mini tasks. This is the most important part. Never stop at, the hands are bad. Translate it into a task. Tomorrow I'll do a page of 20 quick hands. Now your next practice session is driven by clarity, not vague guilt. I don't endlessly rework the same piece. Self-feedback is not about redoing the same illustration over and over until you kill it. It's about learning from it, so the next one is stronger. Take your notes, apply them to the next piece, move forward. Progress isn't measured by how many times you fixed one drawing, but by how each new drawing benefits from what you learned before. Done right, self-feedback shouldn't leave you thinking, I'm terrible. It should leave you thinking, okay, I know what to practice next. If this helped you see that you can be your own teacher without becoming your worst enemy, leave a like and share it with that artist who always says, my art sucks, but never pauses to define what exactly they want to improve. Subscribe if you want more content about leveling up your art from the inside out, without always depending on external validation. Follow me, this is the Candyverse.